So this is my brand new, well, new to me, Black Decker ImpactDriver. Let's open it up and see what's inside. All right, let's see. Open up the box here and pull out the charger. We'll look at this later. And here's the instructions. Nice, and don't care about those. And here is the ImpactDriver. Set that aside and pull out the last piece, a little cardboard, and then the battery. All right, let me organize everything for you here. This is everything you get in the box. The battery, the ImpactDriver, and the charger. There's also a Phillips head bit on the back of the ImpactDriver, but we'll talk about that later. That's everything you get in the box with the Black Decker ImpactDriver. Not bad setup. Plus, it's orange, which I think we can all agree is the best possible color you can have in a wood shop. So what do you get with this ImpactDriver? Well, first of all, it's cordless, so you get the standard Black Decker battery pack. This battery pack plugs into the charger they give you with the driver. Just clips on like that and you can charge it. It's not as advanced as some of the more expensive ones, but if you do home stuff, this is more than adequate. And it's compatible with the other Black Decker drill drivers, so I can swap batteries. It's no trouble whatsoever. And I can use the same charger. That's why I built this little rack back here that holds all my chargers and batteries and everything. And the ImpactDriver will have a home right here. But you just hook up a battery and you're good to go. It comes with a Phillips head bit right here that goes into the quick release chuck right here. This is different than what you use on other drill drivers. You just pull it up and it comes open, and the magnet holds your bit in there. But you can swap out bits very rapidly without swapping, without having to twist the chuck, that type of thing. So it's very useful if you're out in the yard, you're using the same ImpactDriver for multiple jobs. You can swap your bits out very quickly, and it's very convenient. It's got a light on the front that comes on that illuminates when you are working, so it illuminates your work. This is different than the light on the newer drill drivers, which are down here. So this one's a little offset. The ImpactDriver is a straight-on shot. Both of them work very well. And it's compact. It's well balanced, it's compact. So it's not the top end system, but it's inexpensive, and it's something that works for homeowners like me who don't do construction for a living. So what's the difference between an ImpactDriver and a regular drill driver? Well, in one word, torque. The ImpactDriver has a lot more power, a lot more torque. The gear ratio is different, and it can force a screw in with a lot more torque, a lot more twisting force than the drill driver can. Even though the body is smaller, don't let that fool you. This is a lot more powerful. The other thing that this has is it has a hammer mechanism inside. So as you're driving, it hammers the bit so that you're getting downward force pushed against the screw that you're putting in, versus this is just a turning force and that sort of thing. So they both have their places. I use these like crazy. I use them for drilling, I use them for screws and so forth, but for the really big bolts and things, the ImpactDriver really does the job much better and much easier. And I'm all about easy and fast, and I love this thing. Don't forget, it's orange. The ImpactDriver and the drill driver are about the same size. The ImpactDriver is a little smaller, but they're otherwise about the same to use weight-wise and everything else. The batteries are the same and so forth. So the first thing you really notice about these is when you use the drill driver, you can feel it twist against your hand a little bit as the torque affects the chuck here. But the drill driver, you feel a lot more torque right away. It's noticeable. So this has a lot of power, and I can't wait to get to work. So much more power here. How much more powerful? Well, let's compare them. The drill driver's on the top and the ImpactDriver's on the bottom. The drill driver I have puts out 115 inch-pounds of torque. That's pretty good for most jobs, but the ImpactDriver puts out 1,375 inch-pounds of torque. That's almost 12 times more powerful. So to test these two drivers, I have 4 2x4s clamped down to my workbench. Now pine is not that hard to drill into, but this much pine can cause trouble for your standard drill driver. I have a 5-inch gate bolt here. This is sort of thing you outside you put on your gate to hold the hinges up, and it's it'll go all the way into this. And we're going to use the drill driver with the appropriate bit and show you how it works. So the drill driver didn't make it all the way in. I probably could have forced it in there, but think about being in your backyard, putting in 6 or 8 of these in a gate with this. It just doesn't have the power, which is fine. It's good for other things, just not for this. Now the ImpactDriver has more torque, and as it runs, you're going to hear that hammer hitting the back of it, forcing the bolt in. So we'll put in our bit, and we'll get another 5-inch gate bolt, and here we go. So the ImpactDriver has a lot more power. It put the bolt all the way into the wood and sunk it into the wood. This is now pretty firmly attached. Now think about using this with 6 or 8 bolts on your gate out back. It can drive anything. The only problem with this is you don't want to use it for lighter weight jobs because it will absolutely overdo what this would do. So for light jobs, use this. For heavy jobs, use this. I've got this old bed frame that was one of my daughter's bedrooms for about 10 years. We call it the sky bed. It's made out of 2x6 pine, and it was mounted halfway up the wall. It had a desk and dresser and stuff underneath it, but she was able to sleep up off the ground for a lot of years. Well, she's older now and she wants a regular grown-up bed, which I understand. So we're going to take this and break it down and build bar stools out of this. Don't worry, the bar stools aren't going to be purple. We're just going to use it as the structural members. But let me show you how quickly these 10-year-old bolts come out. I put these in with a hand ratchet when I built it because I didn't have stuff like this, and my drill drivers weren't powerful enough. But watch how quickly this takes things apart. So 2 3-inch bolts that have been pretty deeply embedded in this wood for a decade came out just that quick. And I didn't even have to put a lot of force into it. The ImpactDriver did that for me. So you can see the power that something like this gives you. And it's a standard size just like my other drill drivers. So everything fits in my drill holder. It's orange. So, does the Black Decker ImpactDriver do what I need it to do? Oh yes, it's a good cost. It handles the jobs here in the shop very nicely. It fits in with my other tools and is compatible. What's not to like? Would drive again.